Let's talk music. You wanna talk music? Well, let's talk music. Raj against the Majan. Let's talk music. Bonjour, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Musique. This episode is sponsored to you by West Coast Guitars. They are at 2741 East Hastings Street. We just love these guys. Everything you need for your guitars. They have some really sick, like Nash Telecasters and amazing accessories and stuff. Everything that you need musically, you need to go check these guys out. West Coast Guitars. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the show.
Awesome. Yeah. Welcome. Another episode. Let's Talk Musique. I'm Jay.
I'm Ty.
And this week we are discussing
Rage
Against the Machine.
A little Raj.
A little Raj.
Raj against the Machan.
Raj against the massage.
Raj against the Machan.
I have no rage against the massage.
That's what it was in French immersion. It was Raj against the Machan.
Oh,
It's like paper
man.
mache.
This a great week. Rage to me, one of the biggest influencers actually in my life, music wise growing up. What can I say? They've been around. They survived through the 90s, but since then it's they've been broken up and reunited and broken up. Just doing live shows, no new albums or anything, but huge influence on rock in general and the whole genre of the 90s. Rap
sure.
rock, probably one of the first as a band to do it, besides singles by like
Or like Anthrax.
Anthrax and them. Yeah, but
But
as
still different. Yeah,
still different.
very
Those are
different.
singles in a way. Even like Run DMC.
For sure.
Did it a
yeah,
lot.
with Aerosmith. or
With
whatever
Aerosmith
that
and stuff.
Great video.
So good. I love Run DMC so much. But Rage, huge, massive, changed the world of rock, I think, and put it in the
For
direction
sure.
of where the 90s and 2000s and where you are today.
I would go to say that just Tom Morello's guitar playing alone changed a lot of
Oh
things.
man, it just absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my Tom is my biggest influence as a guitarist when I grew up. Rage, first album 92, exact year I started playing guitar in 93. I picked up the guitar for high school there, 93, 94. So, and knowing that Tom, hearing these weird sounds, I was like, that's not even, is that guitar? But on the back of every one of their albums, it stated all sounds made by guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. And I
Yeah.
love that they stated that.
Yeah, for sure. It's like when you find out a movie has like practical effects.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
exactly.
I mean? Like it's all like live
You
shit.
realize it wasn't done by CGI and everything. All these sounds weren't done in a studio afterwards for post-production or anything.
Yeah,
This
then
is
you watch
all
live
Tom.
performances and you're like, yep, he's
Yeah.
absolutely.
Just
Absolutely
and
pulling it
watching him do those things, even playing his solos from his first, like you watch any live Rage from festivals and stuff in the 90s, they never did any, like Tom still changed every solo, but it was still something even more different. The things he was doing, he was unplugging or taking a patch cord and hitting his pickups with them.
Yeah.
Using Allen keys on the strings and stuff.
It
Just-
never felt like super gimmicky though.
No.
Like there's the violin bow throughout history and a whole
Yeah.
bunch of other shit that's just like, okay,
okay,
whatever.
yeah,
But
sure.
it's like no, he's like using them in a really, really good way. And he's the only time I saw him was when he played acoustically. So
right. Oh, when Tom
so-
played it?
yeah,
yeah.
But like he's a phenomenal guitar player. Like
He
it's
is,
not just like
absolutely.
I can just like make these like crazy fucking sounds.
No, he's actually a very, very schooled guitarist.
And the group themselves, like how tight
oh man.
they are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So tight that even that core, even though the band broke up in 2000, the core group of all of them besides the singer Zach still stayed together.
Yeah.
With Audio Slave and even other things. Like they did even more other things with other groups. And Prophets of Rage, like speaking of them and stuff, has more recent
Oh, see, I
stuff.
didn't even know that. I didn't know. I thought it was just Tom that went over to
Prophets
Audio
of
Slave
Rage
stuff.
is Brad Wilk on drums, Comerford on bass, Tom Morello on guitar.
Comfort, he's like laid back.
Oh,
it's so sick, man.
Like, I love his laid back style. And he
It's
holds that
so-
bass so high. And
It's
just
super laid back, but it's still like the pocket is so strong.
So
within
strong.
Those songs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he
him
holds
and
it down.
Brad have a
Holds that
special
shit down.
special place.
100%. Yeah.
They have a special pocket of their own. Yeah, we talk a lot about Tom, but that's only because I'm a guitarist such as yourself.
Yeah.
And his impact. But we have to remember about Tim and and Brad as well, because their musicianship is top notch. Like even Brad Wilkes played on so many other artists' albums and stuff, even Ozzy's
Heavy
latest.
hitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heavy. The way that band was able to translate to each other from drums to bass to guitar to vocals and like back. Like it was this full circle of like, damn, like because it felt like, even though there's 4 members, it felt like a power trio.
Yeah,
that was like,
you're right.
Right, like, and that makes sense because they went on to, and that's what it felt like. It felt just like,
yeah,
and I love a fucking power trio,
and that's exactly what they came off as. Absolutely, like
that's
power trios, like even early Muse. When Muse came out, man, as a 3-piece, and I'm like, this is a 3-piece making this sound. Like they were so big, and that's how Rage was in the 90s. Their sound and their flow, Zach's flow, like when Zach would and then Zach added to that band perspective. Like it's just, I hate to leave Zach out of it because he like, what an amazing front man.
Oh,
like,
man,
one of the best, man.
And then you gotta give it up.
You have to. Nobody can say anything against that dude as far as vocal wise, and his lyrics, very politically activist band as well,
for sure.
Always driven by politics and social justice kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They always stood up for the good things. Even though the rock was amazing, they always had a message too.
For sure.
Yeah.
And like, Tom's still very much involved. And I don't really know. I don't know, like, because so Zach, like, what happened? Like, he went off.
So Zach went off and did. He stayed solo. Like, he did a band called One Day as a Lion. But it was just him and the drummer from Mars Volta. It's
sick.
Very dope, underground-ish sound of drums, like nothing studio really.
Dude, if you had to play drums for the Volta, then you
right.
probably are an insane person.
But none of it is like overproduced. It's just an MC and a drummer killing it. I love that album, One Day as a Lion. Check it out. Not many people know about it. And Zach did other solo things. He also guest vocaled on a lot of stuff. He works with Run the Jewels a lot.
Okay.
Things like that. But he never did seek that Rage thing again, like height of stuff like the rest of the band did with Audio Slave, which I adore, man. Like it's hard to believe they did so much too in such a short span, but anything that band touches seems to just be amazing. But again, Chris Cornell with Audio Slave, you can't deny that's a magic gonna happen. Zach and them coming back and getting along again, because when they broke up, a lot of it had to do with Zach and the rest, obviously because the rest of the band stayed together and Zach was the one out. There are a lot of friction between them.
Didn't he go off and fight some war or some shit?
No. No, nothing like that. He stayed in music, just out of the spotlight. For sure. Yeah. But
he just looks like Che Guevara so much.
That's what it is. You'd think he'd be on the front lines of something.
Yeah.
He probably is.
How many chicks in the 90s who had Che Guevara shirts just thought they were wearing Rage shirts?
I love Rage's new merch.
Yeah. Berets are sick.
Sick, dude.
I'm going to give you a beret.
That was what the whole association between him and Che, where they actually didn't really. No, it's wild to think about that. And they changed. Like, they brought a lot of things to the forefront that I had no idea about. A lot of people don't. We just listen to music. But they did it in a way where they're not preaching it. It was all real System of a Down type metaphorical lyrics.
For sure.
Like, at least the lyrics were hype, man. They had wicked flow. Like, they were dope, and they weren't like me screaming political activism at you.
Yeah.
But if you dug into them, you would all of a sudden open up these channels of, oh, this is what he's speaking about, and a lot of injustices and a lot of things like that regarding immigration and things. That was huge.
A ton, and a bunch of shit from like other parts of the world that we just don't hear about.
Yeah, a lot of South American political, like as far as like the treatment of immigrants and people and conditions of living conditions in these countries, and and those things. So they always at least brought that to light. Very similar, just like System of a Down. I hate to keep making that comparison, but they did the same thing for Armenia and stuff. And but they did it in a way where it was like most of the time you just thought you were listening to wicked awesome rock and roll. Yeah. And even to this day, Tom Morello gets and Rage gets. There was this huge thing about a month ago in the media, how an overtly amount of people didn't know Rage was a political band.
How?
That's my response.
What?
How do you not know that? If you paid any attention, I guess it's the way you consume music, and because if you don't dig any deeper than just the musical aspect of it, but it's so there, like for waiting. He's like serving you these things. All you have to do is really look, and you're gonna see it.
Yeah, those people are stupid.
They're stupid. They're absolutely stupid. You're absolutely right. And also,
even his vocal style isn't. Yeah, it's not like a super melodic.
no.
Like,
You're
I enjoy
hearing
the melody of
you're
this.
hearing
You know,
the
he's
message.
just like he's straight up like
Yeah.
yelling shit at you.
It's
And
so
it's
true.
Dope.
It's
It's dope as fuck.
They
but
did it in such a dope way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know, I agree. Those people are just stupid and blind. And even some of
Really?
those people are like,
Rage Against the Machine. A political band? I don't think so. No, not
Yeah.
my rage.
not my rage. Like they would. I think it started with someone going, "Why do you have to be so or political in this song?" And they're like, "We're political.
This song.
We're a political band." Yeah. And then they would give Tom crap, and they'd be like, "I don't want to hear this white man discussing these things." Tom Morello's half black, by the
I was
way.
gonna say, Tom
Again,
Morello's-
another thing that's in your face if you just check and stop being an idiot and ignorant. Tom Morello is a Harvard.
Here's the deal,
grad.
though. Here's the deal. Whoever wrote that article is just reading Tom Morello's name.
I don't know if it was. Yeah, I don't know if it was an article or just a
Like,
slew
Tom
of people
Morello?
on Twitter.
Who's this white motherfucker?
Yeah, who's this? I don't need another white man screaming about the world's injustices. You are the cause of them, or something. You know how
That's-
it goes. Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, Google was not.
Apparently,
the
people
images
just
were
don't
tough
know
to-
how to do anything.
Images were tough
It
to
just
break out.
doesn't surprise me at all. Again, though, these sounds I bought as a guitar player, learning at the time too. I bought the guitar tab books for the first couple Rage albums, the self-titled released in '92, and also the Evil Empire. So, like, because I wanted to know how they tabbed out these sounds, and like what was
For sure.
at the time there was no internet for me to figure it out, or there was no video of Tom telling you how he made these sounds. You just listen and you were like, what is this?
Yeah.
They explain a few things, they tell you a few things, but it was awesome. Just I used to play in actually a Rage cover band.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! What was the name?
No, we just went by Stereotype.
Okay.
It was so bad. This is so cringy.
You played
But I mean,
drums?
no, I played guitar.
He's blush. He's getting rouge.
This was in Alberta, yeah. When I lived in Alberta between the ages of 16 and 18.
Did you crush it at the community center?
We crushed it at these empty bars.
That was
and-
sick. You were allowed to play
Yeah,
bars and shit.
yeah,
we
yeah.
weren't like we had to play like rec centers and shit like that. But there was lots of like all ages shit here. We just
That's
throw.
cool.
We would just throw shit too. It's
Yeah, we would do house parties.
Yeah.
and
House
things like-
parties, that's
house
the
parties
best
were
show.
the best, man.
The best show.
The best shows.
to
Us
play
setting up in a
our
living
house-
room.
Our house
This-
parties.
Like their parents
100%.
gone away from their massive house for the weekend.
Yeah.
We
Up on
walk
the
in the
bluff.
front. The neighbors are looking at us walk in the garage with drums and guitar, all this equipment. We set up in the living room and we just jammed out Rage tunes.
Sick.
It was amazing. Yeah, we would play the first album. I'd play the first album front to back. This is yeah. I can still pull it out today.
Wow.
I can
that's
hit
heavy. Dude.
yeah,
Dang.
and
All right.
right from Bomb Track to Freedom, like just that whole encompassing album was such a huge part of my life that that's all I wanted to do was be like Rage, be like Tom. I just wanted to be like Tom. So that's how I learned how to play guitar. Just picking up
Just
guitar books
listening.
that one semester in grade 9 with my nylon thick neck.
That's thick, boy.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
I point behind
And
me.
that-
Actually, it's a thick neck too. The SG's got a thick neck too.
That first album though in '92, how innovative that was for them. Like think about like the songs you got from that, like Killing in the Name, obviously one of the biggest anthems still to this day.
Yeah, that's first album shit. I know Bomb
Yeah.
Track is.
Bomb Track,
That-
first
that's
song,
my
first
shit.
album.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
wow, that's the first jam I
oh,
went to.
yeah.
Because that song.
That intro.
We'll get into tracks because
Yeah.
yeah.
That album,
my lord.
incredible.
Yeah.
They did take, and then they took 4 years though before Evil Empire. And they took another 3 or 4 before their last one, the Battle of Los Angeles. But because the content was rare when it was released, but you always wanted more. And then when they broke up, and then they released a covers album, Renegades of Funk in 2000, and that was it. They broke up at the same time.
Okay.
So
but then weren't they supposed to come back for tour?
They actually reunited in 2007 for some festivals
Okay.
until 2009. They reunited again in 2014 around then, 2017, and then last year they set up the tour with Run the Jewels,
And that vid.
and then boom,
That Rona.
Yeah, the Rona hit.
That Rona.
They say they're still going to do the tour when they come back, so they're still together as a band. Third System comparison. System is together as a band but not releasing new music. Rage together as a band not releasing new music.
That's what Daft Punk could have done.
Yeah, I agree, and they'll probably still do it too.
Yeah.
They'll be back.
No, dude, he blew up.
I forgot. I forgot that 30-second goddamn countdown. They are Finn.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything you wanted to? I feel like I'm rambling on about my favorite
great,
band.
because honestly, this is like my introduction to Rage Against the Machine was probably Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
And that song was
Guerrilla Radio,
which was third album. So that was their last album of original.
I feel
material.
like maybe they had a track on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 as well, but maybe I'm just thinking about 2. I know that the school level 2 was Guerrilla Radio. That's when that jam pumped in. I knew about them, I guess, before then, but really that was like...
Yeah, no, I get it. With a lot of things and a lot of bands for me too, same thing. I know of them. You hear the singles, you love it, it's cool, but you don't dive into their albums. Or
that whole soundtrack in general.
But that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 soundtrack was just off
and
the
one.
wall.
One's
and one as
too.
well. Yeah, let's not forget one.
We should do that.
Oh, we should do it on a video game, your video game podcast, because the new game just came out.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right? The re-release of 1 and 2.
Right.
And we could discuss the soundtrack while playing the fucking game.
You're hired.
Look at me. Come on. I'm just trying to weasel my way into more podcasts. We'll do it, and we'll have hockey on another one.
Yeah, there you go.
Wrong Town Sport.
Perfect. You watch it. It's sweet.
And that first album had those huge tracks. Wake Up, too. On the first Matrix album, that was a huge one. Remember at the end when he flies out of the phone booth? I remember Keanu Reeves flying, and then that Wake Up track kicks in. That's 92 to think about, and that's incredible to think about. That song is...
Dang.
Yeah.
Also heavy on the drop D tuning. It's like, I mean, it's very typical 90s.
Very.
Guitar,
the whole album was one song was standard tuning, one was drop, another drop, then standard. Like it just jumped back, but a lot of drop D for Tom Morello.
That big D.
A big D. Speaking of Wake Up, it reminded me in the guitar book, it told you for that solo to use a butter knife.
Really?
On your strings near the pickups. That's how you get the like the insane sound that.
I mean that Telecaster.
Oh, Arm the Homeless.
I mean that's
he uses
that's his
that
jam
guitar to this day.
Yeah, I know, it's so sick.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, that guitar is
the single coil
monumental.
Fucking pickup is just. It's just the shit. It's just like it's just the shit, and it will always be the shit.
And he'll keep that guitar. And he said recently on an interview with Howard Stern, I was listening to.
Humbuckers are great. We love them.
He gets a lot of hate for this statement, but he says it's not about the rig or the guitar. It's just you. Like that's why he's fine playing that guitar and still using it today, because he's like, it doesn't matter. Like it's me playing anyway. He's not a big guy on. This rig changes everything, all these pedals, this guitar, all these humbuckers.
Yeah,
like,
he does have a shit ton of pedals and all this shit.
Yes.
But it's not like he's right where it's, the whole analogy of like you could give someone a really nice camera and give a photographer a shitty Polaroid camera, and the photographer is going to take a better photo.
That's right. Yeah, it's a Tom thing too. Like Tom is just incredible, so he's gonna make.
Also, I get the attachment of this, like I think it's an American-made telly.
Yeah,
but it's a whatever, cool American-made. But there's still it's still like a factory standard guitar, and for some reason I don't know what it is, and it happens even in their lower end shit with Squire and stuff like that, where like 1 out of like 100,000 made, it's just like.
It's a special one, like something got done right.
It's just right.
Yeah,
it
sneaks through the factory.
Everything just clicked in, like everything fit perfectly. The machines are like oiled well that day. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like I've known a couple of guitars like that in my time where you're just like, what? It's just like a regular.
But it's just
thing,
some cheap. It's the cheaper version of the Squires in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, his and that guitar has a lot of money, like a lot of emotion behind it for him as well. This is the one, if you ever watch him play live, it says Arm the Homeless on it. And it's just for him, he feels connected to it. And,
Yeah.
like his own connection to it besides how it
Well, at
sounds
this
to him.
point, you're not getting rid of that guitar.
Look what that guitar has done for him.
that's like Slash's hat.
Right.
And remember when he lost that? They got that shit back for him like that.
Except you don't hear his hat on record sometimes.
Oh, you hear that hat.
But Tom's guitar,
You just hear
you've heard that same guitar on so many songs. Yeah, you just hear the hat. And then the second album, Evil Empire. To follow up that first album, obviously not easy to do, and we waited 4 years for Evil Empire, so we were very anxious at this time. If you were following along at the time, but when Bulls on Parade hit, the first single, man, and that was released, we were like, okay, wow.
They still got it.
Okay.
Still good.
Then People of the Sun, like Down Rodeo, I call it is. What an amazing song too. So many great hits again, and again just pushing the limit, man. Not. '96 is a time when so much rock was being new metal, cliche rap. Like they had when Rage released their first album, there was this huge influx of rap metal. They created
96 is a tough year,
and they all came from Rage. Like they all started. So when Rage released their second album, everyone was definitely paying attention as far as those bands and the music world, and they didn't disappoint, man. That album, Bulls on Parade, was just insane,
super sick.
And then third album, '99, Battle of Los Angeles, the one with Guerrilla Radio. Wicked track. I was listening to it on the way over here, and I'm just like, oh, you know, there's some bands, no matter how long you don't listen to them, you can remember every lyric. You know, there's just that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's been years since I listened to Guerrilla Radio for some reason.
I don't get like that with like lyrics, kinda, but like licks for sure.
Guitar, licks for sure.
Like
But you know, like for me, old Eminem, I could go back and listen to old Eminem track and still rap the whole thing, even though. There's something about that. I don't know. There's a connection again.
Maybe a little bit different with hip hop.
Yeah, hip hop for sure is a little different. But Zach to me he embodies hip hop very well in the rock world. But Battle of Los Angeles, even Guerrilla Radio, Sleep Now in the Fire. Do you remember that video, man?
Yes.
Where they filmed it just DIY, no permits, at the New York Stock Exchange.
That's right.
Michael Moore directed it.
It's right.
Yeah, and they just showed up, and it was the first time ever, and I think the only time they shut down.
Got it in my notes.
Sorry, this is just random knowledge in the head.
I love this. I literally I gotta take notes of this shit.
The first time they shut down the New York Stock Exchange early because Rage did it. Rage.
That was before GameStop.
1999. Before GameStop. But
And 1999, like, okay, so it's like whatever. Michael Moore like making your video, but in 1999, Michael Moore was like the fucking film hero.
Yeah, Bowling for Columbine, I think, had just come out.
Yeah, like
so he was. They were both combined from that because they were big advocates for that film as well. But So having Michael Moore, and even in the video, you see the cops arresting them at the end. They ended up getting arrested, and so it was very Rage, man, and
very Raj.
One thing I want to mention before we get into our tracks for them is there was one. Do you remember the MTV Awards where they ended up losing Best Rock or something to Limp Bizkit, and then Fred Durst is up there talking, and Tim Cumberford from Rage is so annoyed. Like he runs up on stage, you remember, and he climbed the thing. He climbed the thing behind him, and he's swinging up there.
Oh,
on the
that's
big
right.
Stand.
That's right. Yeah. He like climbed the whole.
There's some huge thing MTV
like a scaffolding
kind of
thing, situation.
And he's swinging, and Fred is trying to be cool, and it's just
Fred. Listen, Fred.
Fred with his red backwards hat.
Listen here, Fred. You can try.
I understand him being upset.
Who, Fred Durst?
No, Tim and Rage.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
he's losing out to a guy who did it all for the Nookie. And
did he do it all for the Nookie? Because remember Get Naked? Remember that song?
Yeah, with Methods of Mayhem.
He's the only guy in the video who doesn't get naked.
Right. He was very embarrassed. I did see his sex tape, though.
Oh, yeah? Who was that with?
Tape. What was it? It was One View, doggy style, on some couch. And he's filming.
He just fucking a couch?
Yeah.
It's very Fred Durst.
I'm imagining it's some girl. I don't want to assume anything.
Fred Durst.
But yeah, I wanted to mention that because that actually was very pivotal. If you look on a camera shot of that, you see Zach sitting in the crowd. Zach looks very annoyed and pissed off. This is the time about when they broke up. And Zach there was reports and everything that Zach actually didn't want him to go do that or something. He felt embarrassed. And I was like, I don't get it. I don't know. It's his way of protesting. Why would Zach be upset? But I think at that time, tensions were just high between them all.
Yeah.
And everything each one does, you know how it is. Sometimes everything your buddy does just annoys you.
Climbing a like, not the best move.
But
You
it's
shoulda
rage and it's MTV and you're fighting MTV. Fuck MTV.
Yeah,
fuck Limp Bizkit.
but he should have said that. He should have Kanye'd the whole situation.
That's
like,
his way of
no.
saying fuck him without taking the mic.
You don't deserve this. Beyonce does. Best rock album.
You had a good video, but my boy Zach, he released the best video of all time.
Cut to Mike Myers just being super awkward with him.
And he has a Halloween mask on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not that Mike Myers.
I know.
The Canadian. I know. You're with me.
He doesn't care about Nookie. Yeah, you want to start off with your top 5?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get into it, man.
It's so heavy. It's so fucking heavy. I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna do a fun intro track for this. I can't wait.
Cool.
Know Your Enemy.
Yeah. Oh shit! First album.
Yeah. The intro to this
yeah.
is just the sickest thing ever.
An amazing, dude.
It's so good. And then it takes this kind of weird ass change, like the whole like breakdown or whatever part of it is super wild. And I remember the recording on the album because it doesn't sound like it's Maynard from Tool who sings.
Right. Yeah, unlisted, not listed as well as a special guest.
I was like, that's fucking, because I remember being like, oh, that's a different whatever.
92 Maynard, man.
But
that's sober era that Maynard.
Yeah, it's before he started making wine.
Right. Oh, I mean the song Sober.
All right.
But yeah. Oh, I love that riff, man.
It's such a fucking great.
When he cuts in with the.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's 92.
92, man.
That's the thing is like I started listening to this shit because like I said I didn't know a whole shit ton about him, but I was like, man, these tracks are so like. They're older.
They're older than you can believe, right?
For
like,
sure.
I feel the same, man. I feel the same.
Then Sleep Now in the Fire. The video, you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, did I steal your story for it?
It's like no. But that like this band. This is why I can fuck with them. It's because it's so lick heavy.
Yeah.
It's the tastiest. Just hard,
Sleeping Out in the Fire is
overdrive
an
funk,
track.
dirty funk, like overdrive. Yeah,
Sleeping Out in the Fire.
Very, very good. Testify
Again, same album, Battle of Los Angeles.
It's just classic.
A great video too. Yeah,
it's just
no Testify.
Classic. I feel like this might have been on Tony Hawk as well.
Might have been. It might have been on something else. They didn't do much outside of their own albums besides they had a song on the original Godzilla soundtrack. Well, I don't mean original, but 1998 Godzilla. Remember that?
1942.
Yeah. They did that song No Shelter.
Yeah,
There'll be no shelter here. We won't take it anymore. Fuck you, Hitler.
Yeah. With the mustache.
Fuck you, Hitler. I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah. I bet you Hitler didn't do it all for the nookie.
No, he did not. He did not.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either.
Yeah, Testify is just classic.
Classic. Yeah, great song.
And then I know this is off their debut album, but Bomb Track.
Bomb Track, man.
That is just
a perfect first song. Yeah.
It's just so good. It's such a wild ass it's a wild track. It reminds me of like Jungle Man kind of by the Peppers, like the early, you know when you hear like early Peppers or something like that. And it's just got this weird like this raw like animalistic kind of fucking jam about it. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
what a jam!
Yeah,
super good,
wicked jam, man. Great riff. One thing Tom did great, especially on that first album, but on most of his albums, you would think he's playing full like power chords and stuff. He makes so much sound, and this is actually thanks to Tim as well on the bass. He's a lot of one note guy. Like the way the way his riffs go, it's not him strumming power chords, it's him playing octaves but one note at a time a lot. And that's where his riffs come from. And that's a big one, Bomb Track. It's all one noters though. It's not power chords. Yeah. So it's amazing. Like his skill is impeccable in style.
It's just very everything is just like I watched about like a half an hour gig video or a rig video with him.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing heroin, a different kind of rig video.
This is my rig.
Yeah. Maybe at some point. I mean, I don't know. Depending. Sometimes when you catch artists,
did you know
you could probably get one of those.
Quick fact: Tom used to be a stripper before.
I can see that.
Yeah.
With the bow tie, like a Chippendale?
bachelorette parties and stuff.
Oh, all right.
He used to go in uniforms. As
Did he play raid songs?
He would knock on their door.
It'd be so great if he just played it.
This was like 1989, 1988.
Nice.
When he was, I think, in Harvard still.
Nice.
Yeah.
Harvard graduate.
He's a Harvard graduate.
Wow. That makes. I mean, he is like a. I get it.
Yeah, I think political science or
okay.
something. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so like a fake thing, but
well, he attended.
I went to music school.
Yeah. So you were gonna say about you were saying something there, and then I did cut you off with the
I got nothing.
Tom Burrell, the stripper.
I mean, I think that trumps all. So
That does trump.
Yeah.
Trumps quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So bomb track, amazing track, man.
Yeah. Very. Oh, sorry. No, I was watching that. I remember.
30-minute
marijuana. Yeah, rig video. Heroin. I'm talking
course.
shit about heroin. I can't remember what I'm doing on here because of weed. It was like a half-hour video of him just breaking down everything, and it wasn't like very complex setup by any means. It was just the way he played shit was just like so fucking exact. Like I don't know. It feels sloppy. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
like
right.
The playing kind of sound, it's so laid back and like, you know, just kind of like blends together kind of shit. But it's so on point.
It's
like,
very intricate.
It's very intricate. It's like you have to play that shit. Again, another example of guitar players that's like, it doesn't seem like it's the hardest fucking thing, but
some of the best,
do it,
the
best guitarists do that. Yeah.
Yeah. The best guitarists do that. They make it sound simple. They make it look simple sometimes. But if you're a guitar player, you know what's going on, and you're like, "Wow, this is incredible."
Yeah,
like watching that video and stuff. He's
some Duke Ellington shit right there, dude.
Yeah,
it's not about the notes you play; it's about the ones you don't.
It's about the ghost notes.
Yeah, the one in between. I don't know why I'm doing a Miles Davis impression. I never loved any of those bitches. Okay, and then the last track, Guerrilla Radio.
Guerrilla Radio.
I'm fucking, I don't know, 1999 you said?
1999, Battle for Los Angeles.
I'm like 12, I'm like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
It's perfect time.
At this point, I have learned, I've done with Outkast, because that was like 96.
Yep.
So I have learned how to ollie a couple hockey sticks in the fucking cardboard.
There you go.
Might be kick flipping now, maybe even a heel flip.
Maybe a heel flip?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm kidding, I sucked at those. Yeah, so like I just remember skateboarding, like heavily skateboarding. I can remember listening to this jam like while playing N64 Tony Hawk, which you claim isn't a thing, but I swear it is.
What?
The Tony Hawk 2 on N64.
I didn't say that.
No?
Who said that?
I'm even thinking
I would never say that.
Maybe it was Connor on fucking
That is
hockey.
not
All these
something
things are bleeding together.
That is not something I would say.
All right.
That is definitely a love
you
for
know
me.
what's up, right?
I know what's up.
Okay, maybe back me up on this fucking other guy.
I'll back him up.
Yeah, all right. There you go. I can remember like playing this game and then like going out and skateboarding and listening.
So
to
you're
Rage.
feeling like you're in the game,
Bro. Like I'm Chad fucking Muska. Having the Muska S's on with the fucking weed fucking pouch. Remember the weed stash?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, I had shoes, man. Had a
dude. They always had the weed stash spot. It was great.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal. Just the whole build up of it is amazing.
Again, it's like bomb track build up. Like the bomb track build up.
Sure.
And then boom. Guerrilla Radio build up. Boom.
For sure. And then the crazy like just the weirdest fucking what a great sound. I'm always a fan. You're like, that's not a synth. Like how is that not a synth?
Yeah, it's wild to think about what he does and how he does it. And that video too is
and controlled. It reminds me of like a lion tamer or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they've just like managed this beast. And at any point it can just go wrong for them.
It's true. There's a story that when Tom would be in the studio recording these solos and stuff, and the rest of the guys would be outside laughing. Like just laughing because he's just doing random shit. Like when he's trying to find these sounds, I can only imagine the different sounds.
Oh man,
they're busting their nuts at it.
That's hilarious.
And just to know that something they're laughing at would become something of a staple in music and win them Grammys and everything.
Yeah, man. You got to put in that time with the fucking screwdriver. and
yeah,
the fucking-
exactly. The butter knife.
The
all
butter
of it.
knife, yeah. Although, what a great other use for butter knives. That's 3 uses for butter knives now.
Yes, quite a few
Butter,
uses.
guitar, and hot knives. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to look like a total meth head,
This is how you do it.
this is how you do it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Is
Let's
that
see here.
5?
That's 5.
Okay. All right. Let's get to mine here. I'll try not to repeat those. First one I'll mention, People of the Sun. The opening track to Evil Empire. Just before you got into Bulls on Parade, this was only like a 2-minute song, 2.5-minute song. Quick, but the scratching he does in the guitar.
Okay.
When I heard that, I was like, what is that again? Like, it's still blowing my mind.
It's amazing what sounds that we've discovered. We've talked about this through every episode now of a different sound that we've discovered through these artists.
Seems to be a topic.
And it's like how fucking mind-blowing it is to be like, I've never heard that. And I want
your first time hearing a sound.
Yeah, hearing
it's like first time seeing a color.
Yeah, when you're, it's weird as an adult because you don't get to really understand those experiences. Yeah,
and
right?
Exactly. So when you do hear that, you're like, oh, it's so intriguing, and it just draws you in. And
to drop everything,
it is. Yeah, this is for my people of the sun. Like, it was just so hip hop and rock. It came at a perfect time, and it was the perfect opening track after 4 years of their first album off. To get you back into Raj mode.
Raj.
Speaking again of Evil Empire, Down Rodeo.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm rolling down Rodeo with a shotgun. I was bumping this on the way over.
Yeah, that jam.
That jam is just fire, though. Like, it's just from the intro to the actual verse, the riff in that,
and then mad shit about LA.
Oh, that's it. Like Rodeo Drive is what he's talking about. Like, it's just, exactly. Rolling down Rodeo with my shotgun. Zach really killed it on this track as far as lyrics.
Yeah, for sure.
And his flow. So that was a huge one off of Evil Empire. Again, 1996. Going back to their first album, Take the Power Back. This was a track right after. Yeah, it was number 3. Came right after Killing in the Name. Take the Power Back just had this solo that I had to learn. Like, again, I had the guitar book, so I spent so many hours sitting there with the track, rewind, play, rewind.
How about not even track rewind with that? How about those first 3 tracks off that album?
That's it. Yeah, Bomb Track, Killing in the Name, Take the Power Back. This is before you even get into Know Your Enemy, Wake Up, Freedom, Fistful of Steel.
Those first 3.
Those first 3, just. You didn't know what you were in for. To try to remember your first time hearing that, and you're just like, whoa, what is this? Every time I've played that for every hip-hop head in my life, every person, no matter what their style of music, unless it's country, new country, they can respect that album. Or they're like, what is this? Like, they're into it. And it was 1992. And they were creating something new. Not only new, but something amazing and new. They perfected it right away.
100%.
Like, insane. That solo, and then they had an outro. That song's a long song, but there's so many different parts. Like, and when I say parts, I mean like this riff to that riff to this riff. I'm looking at Tom again. I'm listening to his riffs, and I was like, how did he create that? There's a chorus there, Take the Power Back, and then he makes these sounds. And there are a couple of harmonics, but then the last sound is a really high pitched thing. And what he does is he hits the harmonics, but then he swings up and he hits behind the nut with his pick. And it's just ding, like, it just makes this sound. And I'm like, what? But it goes in the song. It's perfect.
It's wild.
It's a part of the riff. And again, another one from that same album, first album, the last track, Freedom. Like,
this is
that drop D riff, dude.
I will say this: he made because usually when I hear as soon as I hear drop D, there was a period in my life anywhere. It was like as soon as I heard it was drop D tuning, I was like, man, fuck this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it just seemed like,
oh, you just got to use one finger to make a power chord. You're not a real guitarist.
Kind of, yeah. I had
that was my
dick attitude. I had a dick attitude about it. But then when you see when it can be utilized for. Not just being a fucking lazy.
Not for strumming a power chord, but when you're picking with it and
when you're like, dude, and and by getting into that, it helped me learn the neck so much better.
Yeah.
Because it's like you just have to think about it in such a different way, and you have to be comfortable kind of in some kind of weirder spots.
Because now in a way
really
you're stretching further. If it was in standard tuning, you would be stretching 5 frets, like instead of just 2, or it's not 3. Sorry, you're stretching an extra 2, and it's like in a regular tuning, like it would just be hard and uncomfortable.
It just
you
feels,
wouldn't think about doing that. But as soon as you hit drop D and you do the same scales, or you do certain different scales, you learn everything changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the octaves are different.
It really gets you to look at the instrument differently, and like is really
it is
good.
like taking another eyeball to the neck
For 100%. Yeah. And it's just good to do.
That's a good point.
That drop D tuning. Get that D in you.
The point is you can change your mind about the D.
Yeah.
Like you may not like it at first, but then you may like it after a few times.
But after a bit of D.
This is just off the rails.
You stretch those strings down. No.
Well,
there you go.
The reason I keep mouthing these riffs, because I wish we could play the tunes behind, but because of YouTube, we can't, and copyright. And they were signed to Sony, and Sony's the worst for music and sounds on YouTube.
Really?
Sony's the worst, because even if
Sony.
I watch a lot of like review things or YouTubers, and if they're doing a review of say a Dr. Phil episode or something, and they're making fun of it, they can't play the sound, and it's not because of Dr. Phil talking and stuff. It's the music when they're cutting from scene to scene and they're coming in. It's owned by Sony, so Sony hits you with the strike.
Wow.
They had to figure that out. So
I feel like Sony's probably doing a service at this point with the Dr. Phil stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Thanks, Sony.
Good point. But the point being, they're Nazis about it.
You smoke crack? You need to stop smoking crack. Thanks, Jeeves.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doctor.
Fucking guy.
What was and my last track, number 5, I picked something. I wanted to get something from every album. So the Battle of Los Angeles, you picked 2 great ones from there already, or 3, and I'll pick Calm Like a Bomb.
Oh,
because I'm calm like a bomb.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely the album I know the most, but holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, just
so sick.
This album does get overlooked a bit too, because they broke up a year later.
Right.
Their covers album came out just 1 year later after this album. Everything happened within a year. They didn't really get to tour this album and things like that. So I think that's why. But this album is, again, it's all killer. Don't sleep on this album either. No. So between, again, all 3 albums, it's just incredible. It's not like the Eagles releasing an album every year, sometimes 2. They went 3 years difference, and then they broke up.
You can't all be Eagles.
They can't all be Eagles.
There you go.
Some of them have to be Cardinals and Sparrows and Crows.
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
Sparrows, but just fucking Eagles.
But Calm Like a Bomb had this driving force, again, like you said, like which is a common theme amongst them.
For sure.
Every riff is driving, like it's a driving riff.
Yeah, and even like, the jams, like if there's not like there's never like I shouldn't say never, but like a bridge that'll just out of fucking nowhere just for shits and giggles.
Right.
They understand that the jam is the fucking bee's knees.
That's it.
And they will like, why would we change it? Like it's you can have a song that just is like a sick fucking jam for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like,
it's
fine.
That's it. You're absolutely correct, man. Don't want to leave without saying, since my picks are done, but their covers album was actually really good too. I don't know if you
I haven't fucked with
Renegades of Funk. Okay. But the covers on this album, they go from like Eric B and Rakim. They have Devo, MC5.
What Devo song do they have?
What's the Devo track? Oh my god, I just had it in my head. Beautiful Morning. Oh, is that the name of it? I think it's, man.
Oh, good. Okay, what other ones they are?
Yeah. So, MC5, Kick Out the Jams. And Bruce Springsteen. They have Bob Dylan on there. They really kicked out the jams. Microphone Fiend, like Cypress Hill, they did How I Could Just Kill a Man. So there's some wicked covers.
Okay.
That they have on that album. So I just didn't want to leave that without being said. It's worth a listen to, and still something I listen to. African Bambaataa for Renegades of Funk. So some people you wouldn't think about, but huge influences on Rage's, where they get their influences from.
Well, let's hope that this Rona shit ends quickly. And the first task on hand is that Rage goes on tour.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because I want to mention those tickets were super expensive and hard to get at the time. But I'm kind of calling her out, Nancy Ho. She said she'd take me when that tour comes back around. She has an extra ticket
Nancy
for me.
Ho.
So now that it's on film, I just want you to know that you did say that to me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nancy, and I can't wait to see them.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that has been another episode of Let's Talk Musique. Join us next week when we're going to do Outlaw Country.
Outlaw Country. We're gonna do our first special genre.
Yeah,
kind of episode.
We'll switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna talk outlaws.
Outlaw Country. So get your cowboy hats and your boots and
your guns.
And your guns. Get those thick guns.
Until next time.
Thanks, guys.